All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever visited Japan or even just seen pictures, you've probably asked yourself the same question. Why is it so incredibly, unbelievably clean? I mean, from the city streets you could practically eat off of to the sparkling public transport, Japan's cleanliness is the stuff of legend, right? But here's the thing. This isn't some new government campaign or a modern trend. No, this is something much, much deeper. It's a cultural trait that you see everywhere, in the total lack of trash cans, yet also a total lack of litter. You even see it in the way disaster shelters are kept so orderly. So the real answer to why, well, it's a fascinating story that's built on three ancient pillars. Okay, so let's dig into pillar number one. It's all about the spiritual side of things, and it's rooted in Japan's native religion, Shinto. The whole thing starts with this core idea of purification, of washing things clean. The core idea here is something called misogi. It's this ancient ritual of purification that you can find in Japan's oldest writings. And this is the key part. It's not just about getting rid of physical dirt. It's about washing away spiritual pollution, too. Okay, so this slide really breaks it down for us. In Shinto, there's this fundamental split between kegare, which is impurity, and shoujo, which is purity. And kegare isn't just about being grimy. It's a spiritual uncleanness linked to things like death or sickness. The entire goal is to constantly cleanse yourself of that impurity to reach a state of purity, which is the only way you can approach the divine. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you see this ancient spiritual idea pop up in everyday life. The famous Japanese bathing culture, that's part of it. Washing your hands and mouth before entering a shrine, that's misogi in action. Even using salt to cleanse yourself after a funeral, or the simple act of taking off your shoes before going inside. It's all about keeping that impurity, that kegare, out. Okay, so that's the spiritual foundation. Now let's move on to our second pillar, because a whole new layer got added when Buddhism arrived, especially the philosophy of Zen. I love this quote. It sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. First cleaning, second faith. Think about that. The physical act of cleaning comes before faith. It's not something you do before the important stuff. The cleaning is the important stuff. It's literally the highest form of spiritual training. Right, so in Zen temples, they have a name for this, samu. And for the monks, sweeping the floors or wiping down the walls is not a chore. Not at all. It's seen as a way to polish your own mind. By focusing completely on this simple task, you practice being mindful and present, and you show gratitude for your surroundings. It's basically a meditation in action. So, if you've ever wondered why Japanese students clean their own schools, well, this is it. It's a direct inheritance from this Zen Buddhist ideal. It has nothing to do with saving money on janitors. It's a form of character education. It's meant to teach kids responsibility, to respect their environment, and to appreciate the value of doing a job well. All right, so we've got the spiritual angle from Shinto, and we've got the disciplinary practice from Zen. The third pillar is all about the practical, the societal, and honestly, it might be the most mind-blowing of all because it goes way back to pre-modern Japan. So picture this. It's the 1700s. Edo, which is modern-day Tokyo, is already a megacity. We're talking over 1 million people, making it one of the biggest cities on the planet at the time. So the question is, how on earth did they keep it clean without, modern plumbing or garbage trucks? The answer is, they had brilliant systems in place. And the contrast with what was happening in Europe at the same time is, well, it's just staggering. While cities like London and Paris were notoriously filthy, with people dumping waste right into the streets and dealing with constant disease, Edo had these advanced aqueduct systems for clean water, organized waste collection, and a real sense of civic pride in keeping the city clean. But here's the real genius move. They had this incredible, perfectly sustainable recycling system for human waste, which they called shimgoge. As you can see, specialized businesses would collect it from homes in the city. Then they'd sell it as valuable fertilizer to farmers in the countryside. Those farmers would use it to grow crops, which were then sold right back to the people in the city. It's a perfect loop. It kept the city clean and fed its people. A true circular economy, hundreds of years ahead of its time. Okay, so let's zoom out and put all these pieces together. You have these three totally distinct forces from history, the spiritual, the disciplinary, and the societal, and they all merge to create this really unique culture of cleanliness that we see in Japan today. You see, it's this unique combination, this three-layered kick, if you will, that makes the whole thing so powerful. It starts with a spiritual belief in purity from Shinto. Then it's reinforced by a disciplinary practice of cleaning as meditation from Zen Buddhism. And finally, it's all supported by a practical, society-wide system of urban hygiene that dates back to the Edo period. And once you know about these three pillars, you start seeing their legacy absolutely everywhere in modern Japan. It's in the amazing high-tech toilets, the vending machines that are everywhere but never damaged, the collective sense of responsibility that keeps public spaces spotless, and the incredibly high standards of hygiene you find everywhere you go. So it's pretty clear that Japan's cleanliness isn't just about wiping things down. It is this deep, profound cultural inheritance. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world that's constantly changing, with modern challenges like immunology and globalization, how does a culture built on ancient ideas of purity adapt for the future?